Hello, everybody. My name is Scooter, and today is a very happy day because today is Happy Ghasts Day. That's right, the latest update for Minecraft for the summer is actually technically not out yet as of the moment of this introduction, but by the time the video is done, I will have a Happy Ghast. That I can promise you. Because I already have a few projects in mind where a Happy Ghast will make my life so much easier, and therefore happier. Now, in addition to finding and growing some Happy Ghasts today, I am also finally going to be filling in this structure here. This is going to be a combo factory that produces honeycomb, wheat, mud, and packed mud. It's also going to involve two other flying mobs, a bunch of bees, and some allays, as well as villagers, which I intend on airdropping into the factory using my future Happy Ghast friend. Up in the top section here, I'm planning on having a wheat farm that will be automatically run by the villagers and collected by the allays and pollinated by the bees. And then down below, I will have a little mud factory where I can combine the mud and the wheat using an auto crafter and have lots of mud bricks, which are great for industrial purposes in this crazy industrial base of mine. Probably should have done the automatic packed mud brick everything before building the giant dockyards out of that material, but that's life. But before I start on the factory, there's one other thing that I really want to do. I really don't enjoy these doors here because I always have to fly in. It's a little bit awkward coming around to the storage system. I would like to be able to fly out straight through there. So let's punch a hole in there real quick. If I do something like this, there, how does that look? Oh, that's actually kind of perfect. So let's give it a test shot here. So let's say I'm coming home from a long, busy day out industrializing. I can just float on through the window, ouch, into into my storage system, just like that. And when I wake up in the morning and I'm ready to face the day, instead of having to fly awkwardly out through the door, I can just shoot up like this. And that's perfect. Again, why I didn't do this months ago, who knows? Ouch. Would have made my life so much easier, but better late than never. All right, so the next thing I am going to do is start working on the factory here, get some of the basics in place, and then once I'm ready to start moving some of the mobs in, that's where we will bring in the Happy Ghast adventure. So I will be right back with you in just a moment with a progress update. All right, so status update. I've basically built the whole thing. Let's take a quick look. So coming down here, front door, not very flashy. Maybe I'll add something on the front there, who knows. But coming inside, we've got the first level of the factory building here. Ignore the sounds of the moss. Factory next door. Coming up here, the first thing is the mud machine. This is a design by Il Mango, and I will try to leave a link to that in the description so that you've got access to that as well. What I've done here is a little bit more embellished. I've added just some extra decorative stuff around, but the actual functionality is pretty simple. You just hold the dirt in one hand, hold the shovel in the other hand, hold down both right click and left click at the same time, and the machine converts the dirt into mud and collects it up. And everything is collected below into this machine here. Oh, I've got some stuff stuck in there. That's okay. Now it's a little bit hard to see because this is very cramped down here. I was actually surprised. I managed to get everything in. But this is a very similar setup as what I have in my gunpowder factory, where one side is going to collect mud, the other side is going to collect wheat, and then it will combine it automatically into the packed mud for building. And that's going to go into this chest. It also has a tangled mess of hoppers that allow for overflow so that I can collect extra mud or extra wheat on its own if I don't want to do the automatic crafting. And eventually, I'm going to have a hopper minecart coming across under here, sending it all into the main warehouse. Now, a few other things to look at in here. The next thing is, so these shovels, I have to use iron shovels on this, otherwise anything faster and the whole machine breaks. So I'm going to use an iron shovel there, but they wear out pretty quickly. So I've created an endless supply all in one little block here. Whenever I want a new shovel, I just press the button, and that will give me an automatically crafted, fresh, brand new shovel. Now, coming up this way, you can come out onto the roof where, again, we have some more decorative things going on here. But this allows us access into the second level. And this is where the real magic is going to happen. We've got an array here of dispensers filled with shears, and this is where I'm going to put the beehives. And those bees are going to pop out and fly over to the flowers and fly back, pollinating the wheat as it grows, because the villagers that I'm going to hire and bring in here, they are going to collect the wheat and plant more wheat, and the bees will greatly speed up the production of this very important material. And then when the villagers collect that wheat, well, they're going to drop it because their inventories are going to be filled full of just wheat seeds instead. And then the allays that I'm going to hire and bring in here, they will grab the wheat and toss it into this collection system right here. That feeds down below into the lower level of the factory where everything gets combined and put together into the packed mud. It's all very fancy and automatic. Now, as I'm talking, I'm cognizant of the fact that I am standing on a giant mess of shulker boxes. So let's clean that up. I'm essentially done in here, other than the skylights need some glass. But I'm going to wait until I can airdrop my villagers in before I add the glass. And I think right about now is the right time for me to go after the happy Ghast. In the time it took for me to end the previous introduction part and then build this whole thing, Mojang has announced that the name of the next update is Chase the Skies. I believe that's what it is. I'm not looking at it right now. I might be wrong. But it's coming very, very soon. Perhaps for me as early as next week. But I am also very impatient. So I am going to upgrade my world to the pre-release version of the game after making a backup, of course, for safety. And then we will head into the Nether to find our first happy Ghast. The time has come. I have upgraded my world to the latest pre-release, and now we travel to the Nether to find a happy Ghast. I think this is the first time that I've used this little rail system for this purpose, so this is kind of fun. Oh, excuse me, sir. I do need to get by. Thank you. If you could just. Now, as I was saying, into the Nether we go. And we are looking for a soul sand biome. And this tunnel should intersect one. And when it does, we are going to get off and dig a hole and go fly around for a bit. Oh, here we go. That's just gonna go off in the distance. Okay. There we go. That will be our door. And then let's build just a tiny little tunnel here. Now, why am I decorating this right now? You tell me. I have no idea. But there's just something that feels important about doing things the right way, right? Okay, there we go. This will work for our purposes. And now is the very fun task of digging straight down until we find something. We are already finding some soul sand. Oh, there is the outside. Okay. Ouch. There, that should be good enough for the moment. Now let's fly out into this soul sand valley and see what we can find. This area right here is already pretty explored just by virtue of having my tunnel through there. But maybe, oop, ah, oh, maybe I can get a new music disc. Did I get it? Did I get it? I didn't get it. I thought that was how that was supposed to go, but who knows? Okay. No more baseball. I am looking for the happy ghast today. Not the angry ones. Now I'm sure by the time I do find the happy ghasts I'm looking for, I am going to be thoroughly lost. So hopefully I can find my way home after the end of all this. Okay, another Soul Sand Valley. This one's a little bit further away. No sign of anything yet. There we go. We found our first little happy ghast. I mean, it's the dried ghast right now, but it will be happy. Now that's just one. I would like to see if I can get a few more. Oh, there's number 2. Perfect. Are they all going to be this easy to find? That would be kind of nice if I can find it, at least a few more. There's another one just by a single bone block. That's good to know. It doesn't have to be the full structure for those. Here's another one. Go quickly. And another one. Let's see, that's 5 already. I think I see another one over here. A little bit risky. But as long as you move fast, they really can't do that much damage. You know what? Let's keep that on the hotbar just to see how many we've got. We have 8 now. 9. There's another one there, but too many mobs. Can we get it? We got it. I am actually really curious how many we I'm actually really curious how many we can snag today. Because so far, a dozen is about 11 more than I expected to get. But this was actually a very, very big soul sand valley that I stumbled on. So I feel very lucky about that. Oh, no, this is not. No. And in the interest of being responsible, you guys can go right there. Okay, let's see if I can find any more, or if we have exhausted the supply of dried ghasts in this Soul Sand Valley here. Oh, there's one more. I think if I can find one more, I will be content, because that should bring me up to 16. And a quarter stack just feels proper. Boom. Safe in the under chest, we have 16 dry ghasts. Time to find the way home. Wherever that is. Might as well get one more for the ride home. And another one. Okay, we are back at the base and we ended up getting 21 dried ghasts, which is way more than I originally anticipated. I was thinking I would be lucky to find like 2 or 3. So 21 makes me very happy. I think what this says is that if you are playing in a single player world, you can expect to find these pretty frequently in a Soul Sand Valley. If you are in multiplayer, you'll be fine as long as you're the first one there. They are renewable though. There's a way to craft them, and I think you can barter them with piglins. So you're not out of luck if you're playing with a large group of people. There should be more than enough happy guests to make everyone happy. Now, the next thing I need to do is use these happy ghasts to collect villagers. But before I can do that, I need to turn them into actual hydrated happy ghasts, not the dried up ones here. So let's go over to a local village and we're going to get set up, get these guys all grown up, and bring some villagers back for work in the factory. Okay, here we are. Now, my goal here. Oh, okay. Yeah, now hiring. My goal here is to get villagers who are actually not already farmers. The reason being is that they should have no potatoes or carrots in their inventories. Because I do not want potatoes or carrots getting in the way of the wheat. Come on, in the boat. There we go. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay, we're gonna put 2 in there. Probably should have done this first because I think it takes about 20 minutes for them to grow up. In the meantime, I can start working on the harnesses. That looks pretty neat. Come on, hurry up, guys. There, made a new friend while I was waiting. They're looking a little bit happier here. Hopefully not too much longer now. Oh, and there we go. There is the first one. That is, that's actually pretty cute. Hello. Now, unfortunately, I cannot keep you in this tiny state because we have work to do. So here, take some snowballs. I am going to run out of snow at this rate. Okay, he has grown up. Amazing. Here, you can be yellow. Eh, eh. Down, please. There we go. Hello. And there we go. First, happy guest acquired. Oh, and it looks like your brother or sister or cousin or who knows, your comrade has now hatched or grown up as well. Let's get this guy up and running in the same way. There we go. You can be red. How on earth am I supposed to get this harness on you if you don't come closer to the ground? There we go. Perfect. There we go. That's number 1. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in Minecraft. Now, what I should be able to do then is catch a ride on this guy. I stick a lead on you, and we can all travel together. The cat is being left behind. I will come back for it. Maybe. Now the long journey back home. Okay, we are getting closer. Slowly getting closer. These guys really do not fly quickly. So I imagine if you are trying to transport anything over a much longer distance, other alternative methods might be necessary. But for something like this, where we are airdropping them in, I think this is still perfect. Now, it is a bit tricky at nighttime, but hopefully we can do all of this without attracting any unwanted attention. If I fly right in, can I get these villagers in just like this? Oh. Uh-oh. No, no, don't die. No, 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 no. Okay. That was close. Okay, you come back. Up this way, this way, this way, this way. There we go, there we go. Oh, this is stressful. I don't know how to detach these leads. I don't want to break the boat until they're in. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So just drag these guys right in like that. Something like that. We are in. Okay, we've done it. The villagers are now finally inside. And before anything bad can happen, we are going to close this up. And there we go. First stage finally accomplished. Next, I'm going to have to get some bees inside and some allays, but that should be quite a bit easier. And then, of course, I've got a little bit more that I want to do with these happy guests before we wrap up for today. So, yeah, stay tuned. More to come in just a moment. All right, I've got my bees, I've got my allays, I've got my farmers, and I've got another problem. These farmers are not working, they're just standing there menacingly. And I don't know exactly what it is that's causing them just to stand around. Also, they had a child. I've done a little bit of reading, and I think it might be they might have some bread or wheat in their inventory, which is telling them there's no need to collect more because they have no one to give it to. So this is something I'm going to have to figure out. If you know why these guys are being lazy and not farming for me, please let me know down in the comments. That would actually be very helpful. And hopefully between episodes, I can get this sorted out and get these guys to work. Hopefully they didn't unionize on me or something like that. I don't know how to end a strike. Now, with that being said, I want to show you at the bottom here what's going on. So I did collect some wheat manually myself, and so we've got wheat in here and mud, and this is what's going to make that packed mud. Now, right now, there's not a whole lot, but whenever both barrels, so wheat on that side and mud on the other, whenever both barrels have contents, that is going to turn on the observer clock, tell the auto crafter to get crafting, and then it'll go until one or both of those barrels are then empty. With the hoppers underneath and a little bit of supply in there, that means it's never going to run out. So the recipe inside always stays in place. So in theory, once I get enough wheat coming in and once I start using the mud maker machine up there, then I will have an endless supply of packed mud, which I can use for building and then making packed mud bricks and all sorts of things like that. It'll be great once I sort out the technical issues and or labor relations issues. Now, in terms of employees who don't hate me right now, these happy Ghasts are happy as ever. And I'm very happy too. I really like these guys. I am probably going to pop a few more of the dried Ghasts in water around here because I feel like 2 is just not enough. In fact, I can picture a world in which these guys are essentially going around and offloading the boats. Who needs cranes when you've got happy Ghast hot air balloons? So they fit in with the aesthetic just perfectly. But the other thing I need to do is set up a little docking station on the roof of the warehouse so that I can easily get on and off of them. I think we can make this work here, right over the window we made earlier. And I've got some supplies now. So let's start putting this in. And I'm going to use the happy gas the whole time as I work in order to get a sense for how this feels. Actually, in a lot of ways, it's like creative, except you can't fly down unless you look down and go forward. because the shift key puts you on top. Although even being on top is actually not bad either, because you can move around like this. If you shift, you're gonna not fall off the edge of the ghast. It's kind of like portable scaffolding without the whole scaffolding part. And then when I need to float up, I can just float up like that. I actually really like this. It's pretty smooth. Takes a little bit of getting used to the controls, but actually it feels a lot more intuitive than I even anticipated originally. And he's just gonna float away. I'm gonna do the rest without him. I think I should be okay from here. Actually, for this next part, I'm gonna get the happy ghast again. And there we go. Our happy ghast dock in the sky. I might try to keep some snowballs up here just to attract them whenever they fly off. Like in this instance where you're over there. Come back. Come back. I may also leash them to the dock here, because I think that will make my life a little bit easier. But yeah, you can come right up like this. And just get up and walk straight off. Now, if I do leash him, I can link him to there. And then perfect. He's gonna hang out and stay there for me. And I really, really like how this looks. Let's take a look actually from another vantage point. And for that, we're gonna borrow your friend. Yeah, that's pretty perfect. And I'm actually really happy that I put both this part and this part in right over the side here. I think that kind of fits with having the little mini starter base on the front leading up into these things. Ties the whole front of this together, makes it actually feel pretty complete. This is really nice. I'm very excited, and I hope that you are very excited too. Now, that is where we are going to wrap things up for today. I've got some villager things to sort out, so again, if you know how to fix it, please let me know. You can probably expect to see many more outros like this where I'm just casually floating around on my happy ghast of choice. And I really, really hope that you guys take the time to go into a soul sand valley in your world, find a dried ghast, bring it to life, and then have your own floating hot air balloon friend. It's amazing, and I highly recommend that all of you go out and do that right now. That is after you have already subscribed if you haven't already, and like the video if you haven't already, and comment if you are so inclined. And until next time, I hope you are having a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful evening, wonderful maybe 3 a.m. in the morning, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.